Maya Brooks's world shattered the moment she stepped onto that dance floor in Seoul. But she didn't know yet that the most dangerous man in the city had just whispered 2 words after seeing her move. Get her. 6 hours earlier, Maya stood in the lobby of the Grand Hyatt Seoul, wondering what catastrophic life choices had led her here. She was 47 years old, a pharmaceutical researcher from Boston, and she was supposed to be attending a medical conference that she'd already decided would bore her to tears. Her ex-husband was probably drinking craft beer with his 29-year-old yoga instructor girlfriend back home, while Maya's daughter Emma was finishing her sophomore year at NYU, too busy with classes to answer her mother's texts. You look like someone killed your cat, Tasha said, appearing beside her with 2 glasses of champagne. Tasha-chan was Maya's lab partner, and the only reason she'd agreed to this trip. Where Maya was cautious and calculated, Tasha was chaos wrapped in designer clothes. I don't have a cat, Maya replied, but she took the champagne anyway. Exactly. You have nothing tying you down. You're free, brilliant. And we're in one of the most exciting cities in the world. Tasha clinked their glasses together. Conference sessions end at 5. Tonight we're going out. Maya opened her mouth to protest, but Tasha raised one perfectly manicured finger. No excuses. You've been divorced for 2 years, you work 60-hour weeks. And the last time you did something spontaneous, the Chinese wall was still standing. That's not. When was it, Maya? Maya sipped her champagne and said nothing. That's what I thought, Tasha said triumphantly. Tonight we're going to Club Octagon in Gangnam. It's one of the best clubs in Asia. You're going to wear something that isn't beige, and you're going to remember what it feels like to actually live. 8 hours later, Maya stood in front of the hotel mirror, barely recognizing herself. The dress was Tasha's doing. A stunning crimson number that hugged every curve Maya had spent years trying to hide behind lab coats and conservative blazers. The fabric shimmered under the light, and the neckline was just low enough to be daring without crossing into despair. Her natural hair, usually pulled back in a practical bun, fell in soft waves around her shoulders. You look incredible, Tasha said from the doorway, already dressed in a sleek black dress. Like a woman who knows exactly what she wants. I feel ridiculous, Maya admitted, tugging at the hem. You feel powerful. There's a difference. Tasha grabbed her clutch. Now let's go before you change your mind. The club was everything Maya had feared and nothing she'd expected. The bass was so heavy it vibrated through her chest. The lights painted everyone in shades of electric blue and hot pink, and the crowd moved like a single living organism. Tasha pulled her through the mass of bodies toward the bar, ordering drinks in flawless Korean. I can't believe I let you talk me into this, Maya shouted over the music. You'll thank me tomorrow. Tasha pressed a drink into her hand, something bright and dangerous looking. Now drink this and dance with me. 3 drinks later, something shifted inside Maya. Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it was the intoxicating anonymity of being in a foreign city where nobody knew her name, or maybe it was the cumulative weight of 2 years of playing it safe finally breaking free. She found herself on the dance floor, and for the first time in years, maybe decades, she just let go. The music pulsed through her body, and Maya moved with a freedom she'd forgotten existed. Her hips swayed, her arms lifted, her head fell back, and she didn't care who was watching. The red dress caught the neon lights, making her glow like something on fire. Around her, other dancers seemed to sense her energy, giving her space, watching her with appreciation. Maya Brooks, the divorced researcher who meal prepped on Sundays and color-coded her calendar, was gone. In her place was someone wild and alive and utterly free. She didn't notice the crowd subtly parting near the edge of the dance floor. She didn't notice the man descending from the hidden VIP section above. She didn't notice him stop mid-step, his whiskey glass frozen halfway to his lips, his entire world narrowing to a single point of focus. In the VIP loft overlooking the dance floor, Jae-Hyun Park had been having a perfectly ordinary evening by his standards, which meant overseeing a $30 million money laundering operation while sipping $1,200 whiskey. At 30 years old, he ran Seoul's largest criminal syndicate with the efficiency of a Fortune 500 CEO and the ruthlessness of a medieval warlord. People didn't say his name in public. They whispered it in back rooms and dark alleys, usually followed by prayers. He'd seen everything. Done worse. Nothing surprised him anymore. Until her. Before we continue, let me know, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments. And if you're already hooked by this story, stick around. The woman in red moved like she was making love to the music itself, completely unself-conscious, entirely present. She was older than the usual club crowd. He could see it in the confidence of her movements, the lack of performative sexuality. She wasn't dancing for anyone. She was dancing for herself. And it was the most beautiful thing Jae-Hyun had ever seen. His second-in-command, Ryu, noticed the change immediately. Jae-Hyun's hand had gone completely still, his knuckles white around the crystal glass. "Boss?" Ryu asked carefully. "Who is she?" Jae-Hyun's voice was barely above a whisper, but it cut through the bass like a knife. Ryu followed his gaze to the dance floor. "I don't know." "Want me to find out?" "Yes." Jae-Hyun set down his glass with deliberate precision. "Find out everything. Where she's from, why she's here, where she's staying. I want to know what she eats for breakfast." "On it." Ryu pulled out his phone, already typing rapid commands. But Jae-Hyun wasn't listening anymore. He was watching the woman in red spin, her hair catching the light, her smile radiant and unguarded. Something in his chest, something he'd thought had died years ago in a dirty alley in Busan, suddenly came roaring back to life. "Actually," Jae-Hyun said, standing abruptly, "I'll introduce myself." Ryu's eyes widened. In the 5 years he'd worked for Jae-Hyun, he'd never seen his boss approach anyone directly. People came to Jae-Hyun. That was how it worked. "Are you sure that's—" "Get me downstairs," Jae-Hyun said, his tone allowing no argument. As he descended the private staircase, something extraordinary happened. The crowd seemed to sense his presence before they actually saw him. Bodies shifted, creating a path. Conversations died. Even the music seemed to lower in volume, though the DJ hadn't touched a single control. Jae-Hyun moved through the parting crowd like a shark through water. Graceful, predatory, unstoppable. Maya was mid-spin when she felt the shift in energy. The air itself seemed to change, becoming heavier, charged with something she couldn't name. She slowed, turning, and found herself face to face with the most intimidating man she'd ever seen. He was young, early 30s maybe, but he carried himself with the authority of someone much older. Sharp jawline, dark eyes that seemed to see straight through her, and a tailored black suit that probably cost more than her monthly mortgage. But it wasn't his looks that caught her breath. It was the way he looked at her. Like she was the only person in the entire club, in the entire city, in the entire world. "You dance like you own this place," he said in perfect English, his voice smooth and dark as aged whiskey. Maya's heart hammered against her ribs. "I don't own anything. I'm just visiting." A slight smile played at the corner of his mouth. "Pity. Seoul could use more of whatever you are." Before Maya could respond, Tasha appeared at her elbow, eyes wide with something that looked like fear. "Maya, we should." "Your friend is welcome too," the man said, though his eyes never left Maya's face. "I have a table upstairs. Join me for a drink." It wasn't really a question. "I don't even know your name," Maya said, trying to inject some rationality into this surreal moment. "Jae-Hyun Park." He extended his hand. "And you are?" The moment Maya's hand touched his, she felt an electric shock run up her arm. His grip was firm, warm, and he held her hand a fraction of a second longer than necessary. "Maya Brooks," she heard herself say. "Maya," he repeated like he was tasting her name. "Come upstairs, Maya Brooks. I promise you'll be safe." That last word, safe, sent a shiver down her spine, because the way he said it implied she might not be safe anywhere else. The VIP section was like entering a different world. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the entire club, the bass reduced to a tolerable throb. Leather couches, dim amber lighting, bottles of liquor that Maya recognized from magazine spreads about billionaire lifestyles. And everywhere, though trying to be discreet about it, were men in dark suits with earpieces. Security. A lot of it. "Please sit." Jae-Hyun gestured to a pristine white couch that probably cost more than Maya's car. Tasha gripped Maya's hand tightly as they sat. Jae-Hyun settled across from them, pouring 3 glasses of something amber and expensive. "You're not from Seoul," he said to Maya. It wasn't a question. "Boston. I'm here for a medical conference. Pharmaceutical research," Jae-Hyun said, and Maya's blood went cold. How did you? Lucky guess. His smile didn't reach his eyes. You have the hands of someone who works with precision. Clean nails, no jewelry except a simple watch. Either a surgeon, a scientist, or a very particular kind of artist. It was a plausible explanation, but Maya didn't quite believe it. What do you do? She asked, trying to regain some control of the conversation. Import and export, Jae-Hyun said smoothly. I help things move from one place to another. That's vague. I like to keep some mystery. He leaned forward slightly. How long are you in Seoul? 2 more days. Something flickered across his face. Disappointment, maybe, or determination. 2 days isn't enough. Enough for what? To know you properly. The intensity in his eyes made Maya's mouth go dry. Beside her, Tasha's grip on her hand had become almost painful. For the next hour they talked. Or rather, Jae-Hyun asked questions and listened with an attention that bordered on unsettling. He wanted to know everything, where she grew up, what she studied, what she loved about her work, what books she read, what music she listened to. He didn't talk about himself at all. You're very good at this, Maya said finally, the alcohol making her bold. At what? Making people feel like they're the most interesting person in the world. That's because you are, Jae-Hyun said simply. At least to me. Right now. A warning bell went off in Maya's head. This was too much, too fast, too intense. Men like this, beautiful, powerful men who looked at ordinary women like they hung the moon, they didn't exist. Or if they did, they wanted something. I should get back to my hotel, Maya said, standing. Jae-Hyun rose immediately. Let me arrange a car. That's not necessary. I insist. He pulled out his phone, typed something. Done. The driver will meet you downstairs. As they moved toward the elevator, Jae-Hyun caught Maya's hand gently. Can I see you tomorrow? He asked. Dinner. I don't think that's a good idea, Maya said, though her treacherous heart was screaming yes. Why not? Because I don't know anything about you. Because this feels like a fairy tale, and fairy tales aren't real. Jae-Hyun's thumb stroked across her knuckles. What if I promise to tell you everything tomorrow? Complete honesty. Why would you do that? Because 2 days isn't enough and I want more time. His eyes burned into hers. Say yes, Maya. Against every instinct of self-preservation she possessed, Maya heard herself whisper, yes. The next morning, Maya woke to pounding on her hotel room door. She stumbled out of bed, head fuzzy from too much expensive liquor, and opened the door to find a hotel employee holding the most enormous bouquet of red roses she'd ever seen. Delivery for Ms. Brooks, the young man said in accented English. There must be a mistake. No mistake, ma'am. He handed her a small card and wheeled the flowers inside. Maya's hand shook as she opened the card. The handwriting was masculine and precise. Asterisk for the woman who dances like fire. Dinner at 8. I'll send a car. JH asterisk. Before she could process this, her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. Good morning, Maya. Jae-Hyun's voice poured through the speaker like warm honey. Did you get my flowers? How did you get my room number? I have my ways. She could hear the smile in his voice. Do you like them? They're beautiful, but there's another gift on the way. Should arrive in about 3 minutes. Jae-Hyun, this is too much. Nothing is too much for you. His voice dropped lower. I couldn't sleep last night. All I could see was you in that red dress. Maya's skin flushed hot. You can't just. A knock at the door interrupted her. Maya opened it to find another hotel employee holding a garment bag. What is that? She asked into the phone. Open it and see. With trembling hands, Maya unzipped the bag and gasped. Inside was a dress, a designer gown in deep crimson, with delicate beading and a neckline that was somehow both elegant and devastating. How did you know my size? Maya whispered. I pay attention to details. It's kind of my thing. He paused. Wear it tonight. I want to see you in red again. This is insane. This is stalker behavior. Is it? Jae-Hyun's voice remained calm, unbothered. Or is it a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to pursue it? You don't even know me. Then let me know you. Tonight. 8 o'clock. Before Maya could protest further, he hung up. She stood there, phone in hand, surrounded by roses and holding a dress that probably cost $5,000, and wondered if she'd lost her mind. Tasha burst into the room without knocking 30 seconds later. "Oh my God," Tasha breathed, staring at the roses. "Please tell me these aren't from him." "How did you know?" "Because I just saw 5 black SUVs pull up outside the hotel." Tasha grabbed Maya's shoulders. "I asked around after we left the club last night. Maya, people don't say Jae-Hyun Park's name out loud in this city. They whisper it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? He's just a businessman." No, Tasha's voice was sharp. "He's not. I don't know exactly what he is, but multiple people literally walked away from me when I mentioned his name. One guy crossed himself like I'd summoned a demon." Maya looked at the roses, the dress, her phone. "He wants to have dinner with me tonight." "Absolutely not. We're changing hotels. Right now." But even as Tasha started throwing clothes into a suitcase, Maya found herself thinking about Jae-Hyun's eyes, his voice, the way he'd looked at her like she was something precious and rare. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I know Tasha is worried. I would be too. But I promise you I will never hurt you. Give me tonight to prove it. JH*. Maya's breath caught. How did he know Tasha was here? How did he know what they were talking about? Another text came through. "Before you ask, yes, I have security watching your hotel. Not to scare you. To protect you. Seoul can be dangerous for beautiful women traveling alone. He's having us watched," Maya said faintly, showing Tasha the text. Tasha's face went pale. "That's it. I'm calling the embassy." "Wait." Maya grabbed her friend's arm. "He said he'd explain everything tonight. Maybe we should just hear him out." "Are you insane?" "Probably," Maya admitted. "But I'm going to that dinner." "Then I'm coming with you." Maya's phone rang again. She answered without saying hello. "Dinner is just for us," Jae-Hyun said quietly. "I promise Tasha can track your phone. Wait outside the restaurant, whatever makes you comfortable. But I need to talk to you alone. Please, Maya." The way he said please, like the word cost him something, made her decision. "Okay," Maya whispered. "But Tasha stays close. Whatever you need." At 7:55 p.m., a sleek black Mercedes pulled up in front of the hotel. Maya stepped out wearing the crimson gown. Her heart racing so fast she felt dizzy. The driver opened the door but didn't speak. Inside the car, Maya found a small note on the seat. "I know you're scared. Thank you for trusting me anyway." Tasha watched from a taxi behind them, her phone tracking Maya's location. The drive took 20 minutes, winding through Gangnam's glittering streets until they pulled up in front of an upscale restaurant in a quiet neighborhood. Through the windows, Maya could see the entire place was empty except for candles and a single table. The driver opened her door. "Mr. Park is waiting inside, Ms. Brooks." Maya stepped into the restaurant and understood immediately why it was empty. Jae-Hyun had rented the entire building. He stood by the window overlooking the Seoul skyline, wearing a tailored navy suit that fit him like a second skin. When he turned and saw her, his expression was almost reverent. "You're even more beautiful than I imagined," he said softly. "You rented an entire restaurant?" "I wanted privacy. For what I need to tell you." He gestured to the table. "Please sit." As Maya sat, she noticed there was no staff in sight. Just them. Completely alone. "I'm going to tell you the truth now," Jae-Hyun said, sitting across from her. "And after I do, you can walk out that door and I won't follow you. I'll disappear from your life completely. But I need you to hear me first." "I'm listening." Jae-Hyun poured them both wine with steady hands. "I run Seoul's largest criminal syndicate. We control about 40% of the underground economy in South Korea. Money laundering, protection, and certain types of smuggling. I have politicians, judges, and police chiefs on my payroll. I employ about 500 people directly and influence the lives of tens of thousands more." Maya's wine glass stopped halfway to her lips. "I've killed 3 men," Jae-Hyun continued, his voice matter of fact. "One was trying to overthrow me and would have started a war that would have killed dozens. One was trafficking children. I strangled him with my bare hands and I'd do it again. The third was a rival who put a hit on my younger sister. I shot him in his own dining room." The room seemed to tilt. Maya gripped the table. "I'm wanted by Interpol under a name that isn't mine." I haven't left South Korea in 4 years. I have enemies in 3 countries who would pay millions for my location. Jae-Hyun finally looked directly at her. I am not a good man, Maya. I'm probably going to hell. But I'm telling you this because I need you to understand what you'd be getting into if you chose to see me again. Why? Maya's voice came out as a croak. Why me? Why any of this? Because when I watched you dance last night, I felt something I haven't felt since I was a teenager. Joy. Pure, uncomplicated joy. Jae-Hyun's hands curled into fists on the table. Everyone wants something from me. My money, my power, my protection, my death. But you looked at me in that club like I was just a man. Do you have any idea how rare that is? How precious? You can't possibly think I don't expect anything, he interrupted gently. I just needed you to know why I'm pursuing you this way. Why I won't apologize for the roses or the dress or having security on your hotel. Because for the first time in a decade, I want something that isn't about power or survival. I want you. Maya stood abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. She needed air, needed space, needed to think. Jae-Hyun stood too but didn't move toward her. There's a balcony through that door. Take your time. I'll be here. Maya stumbled outside into the cool night air, her mind racing. This was insane. He was a criminal. A killer. Someone who lived in a world she'd only seen in movies. But he'd told her the truth. He'd been completely honest when he could have just kept lying. The door opened behind her. Jae-Hyun stepped out, keeping his distance. I lied about one thing, he said quietly. Maya's heart sank. What? I said I'd let you walk away without following. But I don't think I can do that. He moved closer, and Maya could see something almost like pain in his eyes. I know this is crazy. I know it's too fast, too intense, too everything. But Maya, I have spent 30 years building an empire on reading people. On understanding what they want and what they fear. And when I look at you, I see someone who's been playing it safe for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to truly live. You don't know anything about me, Maya whispered. I know you're divorced. I know you have a daughter at NYU studying art history. I know you work 70-hour weeks because if you stop moving, you'll have to think about how lonely you are. His voice was gentle, devastating. I know you came to that club last night because a part of you is desperate to feel something, anything real again. Tears pricked Maya's eyes because every word was true. I can't offer you a normal life, Jae-Hyun continued. I can't take you on regular dates or introduce you to my friends at brunch. But I can promise you'll never be bored. You'll never feel invisible. And I will protect you with everything I have. This is insane, Maya said, but her voice lacked conviction. I know. He finally closed the distance between them, his hand coming up to cup her cheek. Say yes anyway. Before Maya could respond, her phone rang. Tasha's name flashed on the screen. Answer it, Jae-Hyun said, stepping back. She's worried. Maya accepted the call with shaking hands. Tasha. Thank God. Maya, I've been reading about him. There are rumors. Women who got involved with him have disappeared. One woman who tried to leave him ended up dead in the Han River. Please tell me you're walking out right now. Maya looked at Jae-Hyun, whose expression had gone completely still. Those rumors, Maya said into the phone. Are they real? Jae-Hyun met her eyes. The woman in the river was my cousin. She worked for me, tried to steal money and run to Busan with her boyfriend. They were ambushed and killed by a rival gang. I found the men responsible and delivered their bodies to their bosses as a message. The story got twisted over time. Maya, don't listen to him. Tasha's voice was frantic. Just get out. Maya's world was spinning. I need to think. I'll call you back. She hung up before Tasha could protest. Did you love her? Maya asked. Your cousin. Like a sister, Jae-Hyun said quietly. Her death nearly destroyed me. They stood there in silence, the Seoul skyline glittering behind them, a chasm of impossible decisions stretching between them. Then everything exploded. The blast wave hit first. A massive boom that slapped Maya's face like a physical force. Her ears immediately started ringing. The world going muffled and distant. The window behind them erupted in a spray of glass that rained down like deadly stars. Heat brushed her skin, and the acrid smell of burning plastic and gunpowder filled the air. Dust cascaded from the ceiling, and somewhere in the building people were screaming. Jae-Hyun moved like a striking snake. 1 second Maya was standing, the next she was on the ground with his body covering hers completely, shielding her from the debris. His hand cradled the back of her head, protecting her skull. "Stay down," he shouted, though Maya could barely hear him through the ringing. Gunfire erupted, sharp, rapid cracks that made Maya's entire body flinch. Through the broken window, she could see muzzle flashes in the darkness. How many shooters? 10? 20? Jae-Hyun rolled off her and pulled a gun from somewhere inside his jacket. His entire demeanor had changed. The gentle suitor was gone, replaced by something cold and lethal. "Maya, listen to me." His face was inches from hers, his eyes hard as diamonds. "When I tell you to run, you go straight through that door, down the stairs, and into the black SUV. Don't look back. Don't hesitate. Understand? What about you? I'll be right behind you." He pressed a quick, hard kiss to her forehead. "Trust me." Another window exploded. Jae-Hyun rose to a crouch and fired 3 times in quick succession. Someone outside screamed. The door burst open and Ryu appeared with 4 other men, all armed. "Boss, we need to move. Get her out," Jae-Hyun ordered. 2 men grabbed Maya by the arms, hauling her to her feet. She fought them, trying to reach Jae-Hyun. "No, I'm not leaving without. Go," Jae-Hyun roared, firing again. They dragged her toward the door. Maya's last image of Jae-Hyun was him standing in the ruins of their romantic dinner, gun blazing, looking like some dark avenging angel. Then she was moving downstairs through corridors, her ears still ringing, her dress torn and bloody from glass cuts. They shoved her into an SUV where Tasha was already waiting, sobbing. "Drive," one of the men shouted. The SUV lurched forward, tires screaming. Maya pressed her face against the window, looking back at the restaurant. "We have to go back," she whispered. "We have to." "He'll be fine, Ms. Brooks," the driver said calmly, even as gunfire echoed behind them. "Mr. Park always is." They drove for 40 minutes, taking random turns, doubling back, clearly trying to lose any potential tails. Maya sat in numb silence, Tasha clutching her hand so tight it hurt. Finally, they pulled up to what looked like a private compound. Massive walls, security gates, guards with automatic weapons. "Where are we?" Maya asked. "Safe house," the driver said. "Please come with us." Inside, the compound was like a luxury prison. Marble floors, expensive art, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a private garden. But there were men with guns everywhere. A woman in her 50s appeared, speaking rapid Korean to the guards before turning to Maya with a gentle smile. "Ms. Brooks, I'm Dr. Kim. Let me check your injuries." Maya let herself be led to a bathroom where Dr. Kim efficiently cleaned and bandaged her glass cuts. None were deep. She'd been incredibly lucky. "What happened back there?" Maya asked. Dr. Kim's face remained professionally neutral. "I'm a doctor, Ms. Brooks. Not security. But I can tell you that Mr. Park has many enemies." "Is he alive?" "I haven't received a word either way." Dr. Kim finished the last bandage. "But Mr. Park is very difficult to kill. Many have tried." That didn't make Maya feel better. She was led to a bedroom, luxurious but clearly fortified, with reinforced windows and a door that locked from the inside. Tasha was in the room next door, equally locked in. "You'll be safe here," one of the guards said. "Try to rest." Rest. Like that was possible. Maya paced the room for hours, her mind replaying the explosion, the gunfire, Jae-Hyun's body covering hers. Around 3 a.m., exhaustion finally dragged her under into a fitful sleep. She woke to her phone ringing. Unknown number. "Hello." Her voice was hoarse. "Ms. Brooks." The voice was male, calm, with a slight Chinese accent. "My name is Waylon. I believe I have something that belongs to you." Maya's blood went cold. "Who are you?" "The man who just sent 40 soldiers to kill Jae-Hyun Park. I lead the J-Dragon Syndicate. Perhaps you've heard of us. What do you want?" "Direct." "I like that." Waylon sounded amused. "What I want is quite simple. I want you, Ms. Brooks. In exchange, I'll return Mr. Park to you alive. Well, mostly alive." Maya's legs gave out. She collapsed onto the bed. "I don't understand." "Check your messages. I've sent you a photo." With trembling hands, Maya opened her texts. The image that loaded made her stomach heave. Jae-Hyun was tied to a metal chair in what looked like a warehouse. His face was swollen, one eye completely shut. Blood dripped from his nose and mouth, pooling on the concrete floor. But what made Maya's heart shatter was his expression. Not fear or pain, but cold, focused rage. "You see," Waylon continued conversationally, "Mr. Park has caused me significant financial losses over the years. Killed some of my best men. And I've learned that the most effective way to break a man like him isn't through violence. It's through taking away what he loves. He doesn't love me. He barely knows me." Waylon laughed. "Oh, Ms. Brooks. He's had you under surveillance since the moment you met. He's compiled a file on you thicker than most intelligence agencies manage. He's already transferred $5 million into an account for your daughter's future. And most tellingly, he allowed himself to be captured rather than risk you getting hurt in the crossfire." Maya couldn't breathe. She couldn't understand what was going on. The whole information. "So here's my offer," Waylon said. "You have until sunrise. That's approximately 4 hours from now. Come to the location I'm texting you alone, and I'll release Mr. Park. Try to bring his men or run, and I'll kill him slowly. I'll send you pieces. You'll kill me. Eventually, yes. But it will serve as a lesson to anyone who dares to care about something in this business." His voice hardened. 4 hours, Ms. Brooks. Choose wisely." The line went dead. Maya sat frozen, the phone falling from her nerveless fingers. This couldn't be happening. This couldn't be real. A text came through, an address in Incheon. The screen cut to another video. Jae-Hyun on his knees, blood dripping from his mouth as two men struck him again and again. A third held the camera steady, forcing him to look into it. For a moment his swollen eyes struggled to focus. Then he found the lens. And through the pain, through the blood, through everything, he forced out one desperate broken word. "Run." The video ended. Silence crashed over Maya. Her breath shattered. Her heart stopped. And the world around her collapsed into one terrifying truth. They weren't trying to lure her. They were warning her. And Jae-Hyun was telling her the one thing she never wanted to hear. What do you think Maya will do now? Will she listen to Jae-Hyun? Or walk straight into the trap to save him? Find out in part 2. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.